Yeah, hi Miraj. Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning.
So my name is Manpreet Singh. I have total of 8 years of experience working in different technologies, and mainly I worked in Python along with some
Mm-hmm.
other tech stack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the main objective of this course is to get familiarized with the Python, and then we will go to the cron job in particular.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So you know that Python is used everywhere now, like because it is an
Mm-hmm.
open source language, and everyone is developing their libraries. So it is very extensible to use, and it is very extensible and easy to use in any domain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
so this is Python should be used in different domains, like mentioned here, like it is for the IT professional, technical consultant, analyst, and support staff, and many more. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so let me introduce to the Python. Like, Python is an interpreted high-level language. So when we say high-level language, that means it is not in, it is much more familiar with the human readable format basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So low level languages are like C. So in C
I see.
we can directly connect with the processor and modify some things in the hardware, like we
Mm-hmm.
can allocate memory, disallocate memory, but in Python there is no issue in that. So it
Mm-hmm.
is an high level language and it is an interpreted. So we have two types of languages. One is compiled languages and second is interpreted. So in compiled
Mm-hmm.
one, what we do is first we compile the language according to the architecture on which it will run. Say I am running one code on Ubuntu 18.04. So then I have to compile the code according to that. And if I am running the same code on CentOS, then I have to compile the code on that. So that is
Mm-hmm.
the compiled part, and interpreted basically can run. We don't have to compile in this case, and
Oh,
it
I
will
see. Mm-hmm.
run line by line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what Python is like. We don't need to compile it for it
Yes.
for either Ubuntu or for
Yeah.
the OS.
Yeah. Only the OS should contain the Python installation, and we can run any Python program on any of the platform basically.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the main emphasis of the design is the code readability,
Mm-hmm.
and code readability is the main emphasis. Like if you might have seen some C code or a Java code, there we have lot of parentheses and semicolon, but in Python we
Mm-hmm.
don't have that kind of issues. So code is much more simpler and much
Mm-hmm.
more readable.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And also Python supports object oriented approach. So in object oriented approach, like we have different so we can create classes, and out of those classes we can create objects. Then we have multiple concepts of inheritance, abstraction. All those things comes under object oriented. So you should
Mm-hmm.
be knowing that what is object oriented programming. I can explain in later sessions, but
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. And so in every programming language there is something known as a data types. Okay. So data types are defined like it is basically what kind of data the variables can hold, or what kind of data we can manipulate basically.
Mm-hmm.
So in Python also, like we have numeric types, integer, float, complex numbers
And come
also. Yeah, then Boolean, dictionary. So these are
set.
simple ones. Like integer, float, complex number, Boolean are simple. Then there is complex types,
Set.
dictionary, set, string, list, tuple.
So in the Python data type, so like numeric. So numeric has integer, complex number, and float. Float is what?
Float
I know
is
the integer and yeah.
okay. Yeah, let me share here. Maybe if a equal to 0.14, 0.14,
Mm-hmm.
then this if I do type of a, this is a float. Okay.
So now, so
The
okay.
decimal point numbers basically.
Oh, actually, the decimal is float.
Yeah.
Okay. And integer, can you give an example of integer here? A is
Yeah.
equal to say 4.
Okay, fourth.
or 10? 10, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
so
okay.
A type
It is an int.
integer. Okay. And the complex.
Complex, we have to import
Mm.
some C math library, but I am not familiar with the
Okay,
syntax
okay.
and all.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
we don't use complex numbers like much often, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so this Python you install in your Windows computer, right?
It is my Mac actually, but
Okay, so this is what I mean. This is you using the
okay. So this is the VS Code you can install.
VS Code you have. Okay.
Yeah, Visual Studio Code I have installed and I have opened a terminal there only. Like
Okay. Okay, maybe I will also open so that I can also keep working with you.
yeah, sure. So today demo I have not planned much
Okay,
hands-on,
no
but
problem. Yeah, it's just the introduction. Today is just
yeah,
for
just the
introduction, right?
introduction. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe like my one question is with like how what is your training module? How you train and how you work for
Okay.
next rest of the classes?
Yeah, we can open we can write code in Python and notebooks also. You are aware of Python notebooks or not?
No, I'm not aware of Python. I just know this visual code.
Okay, okay. So there is some I like there is .py file. These are
Hmm.
notebook files that I can share, and you can just run the same code basically at your end also.
I see. So like you
So
you
okay,
made this file .py. You can make the file like
yeah. Let me share that. Okay. Say I am defining some variable. Okay, let us maybe. Okay, give me a minute. Assume we are discussing some topic on say data types. Okay, so first
hmm.
is integer type. So I will prepare these slides beforehand and
So
we
what you
will
see reading markdown means?
markdown means you are aware of readme.md files, right?
No, actually.
Okay, okay, okay. So markdown is a language that is used for documentation purpose basically. So this is
Okay.
the documentation and we can have code blocks. So this
Code.
is a code block and this is a document.
Documentation.
So maybe integer type a equal to this and I can print a. Okay, sorry. Okay, I think I selected it as markdown, but yeah. So here you can see it is printing a. So I will create these notebooks beforehand to discuss different topics so that you will have documentation and along with the code. So if it is an integer type, then what is integer type? We will write some lines of
Documentation
lines.
too.
Yeah, documentation and code also.
Okay, so in this visual code, you can add documentation things too.
Yes, in this notebook, Python notebook.
No, Python notebook. Oh, this is the PYNB, but in the only Python PY file we cannot. So for Python notebook, do you need to download this thing? Upload, I mean,
There
install?
is a plugin we have to install here, like
Okay.
extensions. I
hmm
think Notebook is one of them. I will
Okay, I
find out the
understand.
plugin.
No
Yeah,
problem, no
no
problem,
issues.
no
Yeah,
problem. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, my point is,
yeah, this one.
I mean, give me a, oh, yeah. I mean, you go as you plan, then
Yeah,
I will ask question at the end. Otherwise, there will be too many questions.
yeah, sure, okay. Then we have different types of conditional statements and
And
some
loop.
loops. Yeah. So conditional statements are if-else blocks. Like if some condition, then
Mhm.
execute these
Statements.
statements and otherwise go to the next statement basically. or if
Mm-hmm.
else if we will cover this in detail
Mm-hmm.
later, like
Okay.
every
Mm-hmm.
topic. So this is just a high level, like
Mm-hmm.
operation of for
And
loop.
this. Mm-hmm.
And let me share that maybe here. Okay, say for, maybe assume we have a list of values, say, so that list will also be covered, like maybe apple, banana, then apple, for fruit, mm, fruits. Don't worry about the syntax, that we will
Mm-hmm.
discuss at a later point. Like, so we will basically print fruit in every line, like apple, banana. So we have iterated over the list one by one. For fruit in fruits, we are printing, basically doing nothing much.
Mm-hmm.
We can do other operations inside the loops also, like.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Then similarly, we have while loop, maybe say I equal to 10. So one thing is we don't have to mention the type of the data type, like for the variables. So I equal to 10, so if you are using C or other language, then you have to mention int I equal to 10.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
in Python, you don't have to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
Like while I greater than maybe 0,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe print the value of I, and we will reduce I. So I'm printing the numbers in the reverse order, basically here.
So because you subtracting one, that's why
Okay.
I.
I equal to 10, right? For then we
Mm,
will validate the condition. If I is greater than 0, yes, 10 is greater than 0. We will print
mm-hmm.
I. I is 10. Then I
Mm-hmm.
equal to I minus 1, that is 9. So next time also again we will check 9 is greater than 10. Yes, print 9. Okay.
Mm,
Then again we will reduce it to subtract minus 1, that is then I becomes 8. 8 is greater than 10. Like that we are checking till I becomes I equal to
1,
0.
2. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, uh, uh, till I, when I becomes 0, basically then I is 0 is not greater than 0. That time we
Mm-hmm.
will stop. So till 1 only we
I
will
see.
print.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is a loop one.
Yeah, it is the while loop. This is a state example of for loop.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So like that, we can have multiple if else conditions also. Like say today, maybe I can say time equal to 20 hours. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and here if time is greater than,
Say 3, or
okay,
10.
say
That's fine.
3. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then print good. Maybe let's assume only we have 12 hours in a day. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
basically the clock is from 1 to 12,
Mm-hmm.
and time is currently 10. So if time is this, then we will do good morning. Else if time less than 3, then good night, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So these are not logical, but still for the sake of running that, to explain if else condition, I am saying that if time is greater than 3, that is true, then we will print good morning, otherwise good night.
Mm-hmm.
So these were conditional statements and loops.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have something known as functions. So function are basically, the main purpose of function is to have a reusable code. So
Mm-hmm.
assume I have one function, like I want to print, okay, we have number 1 equal to 10, number 2 equal to 20. and I want to print number 1 plus number 2. Okay.
Mhm.
But again, then at some point in our code, we have changed number 1 to 40. Then again, I want to print a number 1 plus number 2. So this is the
Mhm.
very simple example. It is not very difficult one, but this is
Mhm.
just to demonstrate that why we use number, like why we use functions.
Mhm.
So like that, we can do that. Okay, we can print
Mhm.
multiple times. We can add
Change, yeah.
numbers,
Mhm.
or we can have take number 1 comma number 2 as argument here. So instead of writing number 1 plus number 2 three times there in the code, we will
Just use a function. Yeah. Mhm.
write a function, and it should return the it should return that sum of both. So now I can print maybe sum of say 10 comma 20 print. So this is the way we are calling the function basically. Okay,
Mhm.
sum, these are the arguments
Then, mhm.
that we are passing. So maybe then 10 comma 40 print sum.
Oh, I see. If you use the function sum, then we don't have to add plus every time. Mhm.
Yes, so it is basically the whenever we are calling this a sum function, we are
Mhm.
passing 10 as in number 1 and 20
TSM.
as number 2, and this function is returning some value that we are printing here.
Mhm.
uh, okay, so we can do something like that. Okay, we can do result equal to maybe assign the value to result and then print the result. So that is the same thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, so function are the main idea here is function are the code where we need to do execute some functionality multiple times, like.
Mhm.
So we have multiple kind of functions. One,
So yeah. So in this case, we have to write diff and then start the function.
yes, def is a
Mm.
keyword you. So there are a few keywords that are reserved in Python. Like def is
Mhm.
one of them. Return is one of them. We can't use
So
these keywords in our code like for other purpose.
mhm. So if def, so this actually this I need to memorize initially.
Yes, initially yes, yeah,
So def
but
means for what? Yeah, yeah. After practicing, I mean, it will be. So def means define, right?
def means I am not sure, but
But it's
okay.
yeah, okay.
Let I will check.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
I will
problem.
check that. Yeah.
Mhm. And return is to go back again, follow the same formula.
Return is okay. Maybe I can show you that. Okay, I will explain that in later
Let
module.
okay, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Then we have something known as classes. So classes are the main, you can say the main thing in the object-oriented paradigm, object-oriented programming. So in
Mhm.
classes, so this is another way of writing the code only, but it will provide more features than functions. So classes can have properties and methods associated with it. Okay,
Mhm.
maybe it looks okay. Let me take example here. So here under class, I am okay. Yeah. So this is one of the simplest class, like it will be much more complex.
Mm-hmm.
So the simple one, we can have properties and functions inside a class, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I will explain this self later, like you don't worry about the syntax much at this point,
Okay.
but
Mm-hmm.
just focus on classes will have properties and functions associated with it. So if I initialize to all these properties and functions, we can create the objects of that class. So this is the
Okay.
way we create the object of that class, and then using that object we can call the we can basically call the property or call the function basically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So assume, okay, let me make it parameterize, okay, in it. Why the objects matter is this, okay, hello. So I am not covering the syntax now, like,
Mm-hmm.
so then later if I create object 2 for the first class using name Facebook and maybe call the method. So here you can see I have created first object and passed one parameter to the class, that is a name. And when I called the function of that class, like using the object, we can call the functions. So it printed hello Google basically. So self dot
Mm-hmm.
name is a instance level variable. So in this object one is the instance of the class, instance of class first. And if I create object 2 using some other name, then self
Mm-hmm.
dot name for this object 2 will be different than the for object the default object. So here if I call the f method, then it will print using this Facebook as a self dot name basic here.
Mm-hmm.
So classes provide a different uh, it is easy to have classes, like I can have some functionality in one class and I can import that class in multiple files. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is a simple example. Let if we have okay, first dot py. Say we have this first dot py here and touch second dot py. And here if I execute second, okay, I will cover this modules in
Sure.
other
I think
class.
for now is better to go to theoretical, then we'll come to
Yeah.
this in
Okay.
detail.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand this part. And this is the cron job. Yeah, I watched some YouTube Googles. So this is the time. Mm.
Okay. So cron job is a
Cron.
command
Mm.
line utility
Mm.
that is used to schedule different Unix
Mm-hmm.
Unix jobs basically.
Mm-hmm.
We can set up cron jobs at different times. Like, uh, so currently there is no job running on my system. If I do cron tab
Mm-hmm.
-L,
Mm-hmm.
so cron jobs have some particular syntax in which they will be scheduled on
Executed
the
here.
system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
executed. So it will be like, if I am giving star 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 uh, something like this and command to execute. So the meaning of the first letter is minute. So here
Yeah.
I can
Mm-hmm.
give 0 to 59, anything,
Mm-hmm.
any value. Then
And
hour,
within. Mm-hmm.
day of the month, and day of the week. So
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
can use this link to find out which cron job you are scheduling at what time.
Mm-hmm.
Say if I open that, maybe cron tab.guru.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see this job
Example.
is
Yeah.
running. This is the example for this job will run at 4 5. And if I
Mm-hmm.
make it star every 5 minute at 5 minute
Yes.
of every hour,
Mm-hmm.
then we can have at every minute. Then I can have at every minute on day of month two,
One,
on
two, yeah,
February.
February, yeah. I
Yeah.
understand this part, yeah. Actually, I kind of have done some research here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this way you can set the cron jobs at different whatever time suits you like.
Mm-hmm.
Then the way to schedule cron jobs is we have a uh, one third-party library, Python cron tab, that we can use and install here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, the way we are installing the packages in Python is there is a package manager
Pip,
pip.
pip theory, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So pip install Python cron tab.
Cron tab, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have already installed, so it did not took much time. Like
Can I,
requirement.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Can I install in my info?
Yeah, yeah, you can install there.
Mm. Well, let me bring my other computer where I have to work.
Okay, okay.
Mm. Uh, so I have to go to visual, right?
Yeah,
And
you can go to the terminal. You can go to Visual Studio also. Anything is
or
fine.
even in terminal too.
Yeah, in terminal also. Which computer you use, like
I
Python?
my I'm using Mac.
Okay, okay. You go to terminal, no issues.
Yeah, so Python 3. So pip 3 I have to and then install
Pip3 install Python cron tab. Let me share the link of the package here in the chat.
install Python slash, right? I can see it from your
Okay.
Python cron tab and enter. It
Yes.
says syntax error. I don't know why.
You can share your screen, but maybe
Actually,
you can later share maybe.
Python pip 3. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's not asking. It says is, or maybe I'll use the.
You have installed Python on your system already?
Yeah, I have
How did you install that? Like Anaconda or the normal zip file, or
the
do
no.
you?
Actually, I use the visual code,
Okay.
Visual Studio Code.
Yeah, Visual Studio Code is a IDE basically. It is not a Python, right?
Python.
So
Okay.
Python we have to
Mm.
install separately. So you can go to here like Anaconda distribution
Mm-hmm.
and install this Anaconda
In Mac,
basically
in Mac
in Mac.
actually.
Yeah.
So let me go and no, on the distribution.
So this
Sorry, in
Anaconda contains different libraries automatically that will be there in your system. Like
okay.
you
So
don't have to
can
install. Yeah.
so I have to install Anaconda.
Yes.
So individual edition.
Yes.
So okay. Yeah. So the for Max, okay, let me install this. It's asking for the email and the things. Do I need to register first?
No, no, no.
Oh, it's downloading. It's downloading. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this will automatically install Python, pip, and there are a few libraries that we use for data science projects. That is
Mhm.
scikit-learn, NumPy, Pandas. That also it will install all automatically.
Okay, so after installing this, all three libraries will be installed.
Not only three, it will be like hundreds of libraries.
Mhm. Yeah. So let me just few seconds left.
So I can quickly show you how we can schedule cron jobs using Python. Okay.
Mhm.
So here you can see, here I showed you right cron tab hyphen L.
Mhm.
There is no job running at.
Actually, maybe next time because I will use the same computer so that I can share my screen if there's any issue.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Because this is I'm using my personal computer, but next time I'll use the same computer where I have to work.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
So in the meantime, what could be your timing? Like the same time you want to connect?
Yeah, same time is fine, 8 to 9 maybe.
Yeah, for me is okay too.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of late for me. It's 10:30 now,
Okay, okay. You are in
but
which
it in Toronto,
province? Okay.
Toronto,
Okay, okay.
Ontario. So sorry. So what else do you plan? Maybe you can come. This is the installing. We can go to the slide and how what you plan.
Yeah, sure. So
We are checking cron tab. Yeah.
so here you can see that I have written already one simple Python code
Mm-hmm.
by importing
Cron
the
tab.
cron tab.
Mm-hmm.
So here I am scheduling one cron job. This is the command that I want to execute as part of the cron. So if
Mm-hmm.
I execute this cron tab.demo, don't worry about the syntax of this in detail, okay? I will just execute this. And if
Mm-hmm.
I now do cron tab hyphen L, it has scheduled a job, one job.
Okay, go. Do it. You want to gargle? Do it. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like this cron job is scheduled and it will do whatever is
Mhm.
supposed to be.
So, can you explain what is it's doing the cron job?
Cron job, it will open a file. Like this is just a junk. You can ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
So it will open one file and it will write a date time to it. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
much. Current date
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the
Okay.
other thing, the one the work which I need to do, can I also share that part? So maybe you can help me in that too.
Yeah, sure. You can share. This is the last slide that I want to
Okay.
cover.
Okay. Okay. So yeah,
So
please go ahead.
this is the entire course content that we can plan if you want.
Mm-hmm.
If this Python basics are required, we will cover in detail like data types, int, float, string, list,
Mm-hmm.
tuple, all of them. Then what is variables, conditional statement, if switch, loops, then functions. There are special functions, map, reduce, filter, lambda, or custom functions.
Mm-hmm.
Then classes, objects, inheritance. Then there is method overriding in Python we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And NumPy and Pandas is optional. Like it is, if you are working in data science, then only it
Is
will be
needed.
required.
Yeah. So, Manpreet, I want to just hold. So this is like these topics and subtopics we will be covering in next one, like 60 to 120 minutes. It will need around 1 to 2 hours, right?
Yes.
That's what. Okay. I know. No,
Yeah.
I definitely want to go for all these things.
Okay. Okay. Then GitHub, if you want to know, like,
Yes, actually, I need this too. Yeah. Mhm.
okay, then what is the cron job? That
Cron.
that is almost what this is like.
You,
This
you
is the
mentioned that.
cron job. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
the
that's
cron
good.
tab package we will discuss in detail maybe.
That's sound, yeah. So that's the plan for next. Okay, that's good. So I actually is because as I mentioned, so I'm like I'm actually a beginner, right? So I need to understand everything. I don't want to take to jump to skip the first part and then go to the directly cron job because that won't help me.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe
So
cron
I
job
like your plan. We
we
can
can
cover in cover
cron
later,
job we
not now.
can, yeah,
Mm.
later.
So and I really like the plan because I really need to understand the basics of Python and then go to the next step cron job.
Okay.
That's yeah. So I know today actually for today I was not planned, but most for maybe tomorrow and then every day we will do this thing.
Yeah, sure.
So
You
that
can
will help me.
install this Conda and just
Actually,
run.
yeah, it's I'm working.
uh,
I'm installing actually.
okay, okay.
Installation happening. Or actually, yeah. So when I install this Python Anaconda, then it will be good. I think it's done.
Okay. I think if you are able to execute a simple Python code like
Hmm.
maybe print a hello world in Python in a VS Code, then we are
Hmm.
good. Like we can proceed from there.
Yeah, now I got the Python. Is I think it's installed.
Okay.
So what? So at Python, I think I just installed based on the link you shared. So I downloaded Anaconda, this one, right? And install.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you see here, uh, so this is just the terminal. I open the terminal.
I can't see that. I can see only Chrome.
I think maybe I shared only the Chrome.
Okay.
Now you can share.
Yes.
You can see, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So here you want me to write. So check the no. Actually, you asked me to install pip3
It
in.
will. This command will not work here. Like if you exit from here, do exit with bracket.
Control
Yeah.
control or
Yeah. Anything is fine. Yeah. Now you can execute pip3 install
install Python.
Python cron tab. Python hyphen
Mhm.
cron tab. Yeah. Enter.
Sure. It means it's there. Oh, it's
Yeah.
installing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is installing. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. I think
Mhm.
that's what we wanted.
Okay. So there's done. And what else you want to? So the other one is the visual code. I have visual codes. That's fine. We don't need now. But
Yes.
it shows that Python 3 is there. How do we check that the Python 3 is there? We just type
Just just do Python. Enter. So there
yeah,
you in the first line you can see that,
the
right?
Python default September 16. Yeah, I got yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you says that to practice hello command.
Yeah. Like okay. Can you open VS Code maybe?
Oh yeah.
Create a file or create one folder and inside that one file.
So I open folder, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I have one folder somewhere. Okay. Let me the desktop. Actually, I was not user friendly for this my Python learning. Yeah, I open one folder
Okay.
and I
Just
can
create
one
create
file
any file. Yeah.
from here, right?
Yes.
So say test
.py.
test learn dot py. Oh yeah, understand. So that's saved.
I
Now
think it has not came here. Maybe okay. It has not came here. Just
we
one
can.
second.
Yeah. Mhm.
There is a uh, near to that Python
Yeah,
learning. There is this file. Yeah.
this one. Oh,
Yeah.
I understand. This is for the file. This is for the folder.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now you
So
can type that.
Python learning.py.
So
And
there
enter.
is a one normal generic syntax for the file names, that is all should be in small case, and there should be underscore, not hyphen, I think.
India.
Yeah, Python P should be small also. Yeah,
Now it's good.
yes.
I,
Enter.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
start.
here you can type print hello world maybe. Print and open bracket and close bracket and hello world should be a string.
Print and then
Yes. Save this.
save. I will go to
A
control.
control S you can do here. A command S.
Command S, yeah.
And go to the terminal like down there.
No.
You can open the
Oh, the
in
terminal.
terminal.
Yeah. Mhm. And say print.
What is can you do PWD?
PWD is for.
Present working directory.
Oh, I see.
So it will print where you are. So if you do ls here, okay, ls should, there is a python learning.py is there, right? Ls is for listing all the contents in a directory.
So means whatever contents are there in the directory, it will tell. So there is
Yes.
not much.
Uh, it is in your python learning underscore exe. So these are all the files and folders. So you can execute that Python file using Python space.
Oh, I see. So these are the other files which are there in the same folder.
Yes. Whatever you are seeing on the left side on the top, right, in the Explorer. So those
Yeah.
files are printed here in the terminal.
If you put the command listing.
Yes. I
And
think
PWD, what you tell you what
you worked with the Unix commands or not, like?
Oh, so what?
Have you worked with the Linux commands?
No. It's the first time I'm working.
Okay. No issues.
So
Yeah,
sorry, you're saying I interrupted you.
you can execute Python space.
Here, okay.
Yes. And Python hyphen and Python underscore do tab. Click on tab on
Underscore.
the,
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
it will autocomplete basically. Yeah, enter.
Oh, I see. Python learning PY.
Yeah, enter. So whatever is
It
in
is
your
hard.
Python file, it is executing that.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. I think this is good for me.
Okay.
Today.
No issues. Yeah.
Okay, I understand this, sir. So for tomorrow, you already planned. So we'll go. Maybe we may not complete all the steps, but at least basic
Yeah.
complete tomorrow.
Yes.
And
And
do
I
I
will
need?
give you some questions that you can solve, I think, in the spare
Okay.
time.
Yes. Yeah. No, that will be good. So yeah. So are you going to give me a question today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow only.
Yeah. Sure. Because then I will have some background.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Then thank you.